Okay, the last thing I want to leave you with, 5 keys to winning in the new market. When is the last time you completed a database audit? Think about this for a second. You've had your CRM on autopilot. You've done pie giveaways. You've done different things. You've done phone calls. You're doing stuff to stay in touch with your database. I understand that. When is the last time you actually wrote out on a whiteboard everything you do to add value to your database? What I want you to do under number 5 is, so point number 5 is complete a database audit. Complete a database audit. What do I mean by a database audit? Well, what I want everyone to do right now in your workbook or where you're taking notes or in your computer, whatever, I want you to write down the number of people in your past client and sphere of influence database. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'll do this with you. Write down how many people are in your past client and sphere of influence database. Okay, just for sake of simplicity, I'm going to say I've got 300 in mind. Okay, so write down however many are in your past client sphere of influence database. Now underneath that, I want you to write the number 0.08 and draw a line. So maybe you have 500, maybe you have 1,000, maybe you're newer and you only have 100. That's fine. Whatever your number is, I want you to write 0.08 underneath it, and I want you to take out your calculators. And I want you to calculate whatever number you wrote down times 0.08. So in this case, I wrote down 300 times 0.08 is 27. So write down your calculation. I want you to circle it. Okay, you got your calculation, 300 times 0.08 or 400 times 0.08 or 1,000 times 0.08. So in this case, 300 times 0.08 is 27. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to think about in 2023, how many deals will you do from your database? How many deals will you do from that same group? So if I have 300 past clients in center of influence, how many deals am I going to do from that group? And let's just say, for the sake of exercise, 8 times 3 is 24. Yes. Thank you. It's so funny. No wonder why. So on this whiteboard over here, I wrote down 27 and everyone was like looking around. Thank you for that. I was wondering, like, did I just get my math wrong? Oh my gosh. Danica, my assistant, is over there laughing at me right now. Okay, 24. Thank you. I did it twice today. 8 times 3. Duh. Okay. So now what I want you to think about is how many deals will you do from that same group? In this case, let's just say I'm going to do 10 this year. Okay. I'm going to do 10 deals for my past client and sphere, not your CRM, not your internet leads, 10 deals for my past client sphere. Okay, good. So now I'm going to subtract the 10 deals I'm going to do from the 24, not 27, the 24 that I wrote down. And that's going to leave me the number 14. Okay, you follow along? So this is how many are in my database times 0.08 equals 24 minus how many deals I'm going to do for my database, 14 left over. Now what I want you to do with that number that you have left over at the bottom, I want you to multiply that by your average commission check. Now, clearly I'm bad at math, so I'm going to multiply mine times 10,000 because any other number I might have trouble with. Multiply that number times your average commission check. So in this case, that works out to 140, and I'll put a dollar sign in front of it, 140,000. Okay. So you're going to take the number that you have left over times your average commission check, in this case, 140,000. And I want you to circle that number. Okay, circle that number 10 times, 5 times, whatever. Circle that number. Throw in the chat right now what number you have written down that you circled. I want to see some of your dollar amounts. 50,000, 80,000, 200,000, 76,000. Throw in the chat some dollar amounts. 56,000. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Most cases I see, 280. All right, Chris, 280, 50K. Yep. 250K. All right, good. Yeah, usually it's somewhere between 50 and 150, depending on your average sales price. Okay, good. 103,000. Thanks, Mike. Here's what I know. 80,000. That number you just circled, that's how much money you're leaving on the table by not treating your database correctly. Because this number up here represents how many deals you should be doing for your database. 8% of your database should be transacting business with you or referring you. By the way, this number, the 8% hasn't been around long. There used to be an old rule. Chris, you remember this, the database, the golden rule of 10%. By the way, there's still probably trainers out there preaching it because they're not selling real estate right now. It's been updated. It's 8%. Why? Because technology has driven a little bit of a wedge between our loyalty from our clients and us as real estate agents. So what the 8% rule, it's no longer 10%. What the 8% rule says that 8% of my business, of my database should transact or refer me every single year. And if I'm not getting 8%, then I'm leaving money on the table. So how do I get more business from my database? I'm going to give you my 3-part formula, and then we're going to open up for questions. How do I get more business from my database? Well, you can either A, simply play the numbers game and add more people to it. I know it's basic, but yes, that's how you can make more money from your database. We have, as part of our culture within our team, Chris, I know you'll appreciate this. You've always had a great accountability and structure with your team. Every morning at 7:25, our team calls in. All right. I still run the call every morning, and they have to report the following. Ready? Contacts made, appointments set, appointments gone on, contracts signed. And the 5th one that they have to report is add to database. How many people did you add to the database the previous year? So could you set up a reminder in your phone every day at the end of the day, or maybe first thing in the morning? Who could you add to the database today? It's part of our culture. Watch this. If you add 1 person per day times 250 working days, you're going to have 1,000 people added in 4 years. And if you treat them right, we're going to talk about that in a second. If you treat them right, you're going to get to 8%. By the way, just to give you an example, we have 6,000 people in our database today. We're going to do 437 transactions from our database this year. That works out to about 7.5%. So watch this. That's part A. Part B, getting more business from your database. Part B, adding value to the people that are already there. Adding value to the people that are already there. So watch. What are you doing to add value to that group? And if your idea of adding value, okay, I'm not going to ask you to volunteer, but if in the calendar year of 2023, with the exception of, I guess, Arizona, if you send a reminder to your database to set their clocks back, it's probably time for a database audit. I mean, honestly, when is the last time you needed a reminder to set your clocks back? So instead, what I'm going to recommend you to do, because the clocks set themselves back automatically. So what I'm going to recommend that you do is every month, all right, the month of January, the month of February, I'll show you a portion of our business plan. You're going to do something of value every month, every January, every February, every March, every April, just one thing. I don't care if you're using the 36, 78, 97 touch program, whatever. I don't care what program you're using. A minimum once per month, add value to your database. And it better be stuff that you would get value from. We play this game with our operations team every year. It's called Would I Get Value? And we actually go all the way back to January of 2023, and we write out on the whiteboard using a Sharpie or whatever, and I guess it'd be a dry erase marker, writing out on the whiteboard, would I get value from this? And then we go back and we write down everything we did each month to that group. And we remove stuff that people are like, no, I would not get value from this giveaway or that giveaway. No, let's remove that. 3 ways you can get more business from a database. Number 1, add people to it. Just simply play the numbers game. Number 2, add value to the people that are already there. Or number 3, ready? Do number 1 and 2 simultaneously. The best of the best have figured out how to add people and add value. Most agents are good at one or the other. Okay. By the way, I wasn't good at adding value. I was good at adding people, but not adding value. Most agents are the opposite. Most agents are good at adding value, but not adding people. If you get good at both, you will absolutely see a dramatic increase in your database business next year. And it's important because our database business is being tested now more than ever because of all the advancements in technology and real estate today. So those are the 5 keys. When I look at everything we're doing to win, all right, just to give you an idea, in the last 90 days, we've taken 227 listings in our market in the last 90 days. 227. We have 31 salespeople. I don't have this team of like 100 agents. We have 31 salespeople. 227 listings. When I look at where they're coming from and what we're doing differently from our mindset to our sales skills, if you get the chance to come up to Detroit, if you were going to interview our competitors, say, hey, what is it that Jeff and his team does differently? They'd say, oh gosh, he teaches them all how to sell. He teaches them how to sell. He teaches them how to sell. Those are the 5 keys to winning in the new market. I will shut up and open the floor now, and I'm sure Chris or Jeremiah has some things to add as well. So hopefully you guys got some value from that.